Ain't that some shit? So, this review was supposed to come out in 2020. So, yeah, right now it's the 1st of January, so I'm just gonna finish everything today. 4 years into maybe, let's say, 10 minutes, because nobody's gonna watch this for another 40 minutes. I'm not gonna make a retrospective. I'm not Worklocracy. I'm not GGG Man Lives. I'm not a talented man. I'm just a lazy piece of shit with over 12 hours of footage of Cyberpunk, even though I beat the game twice and I had over 20. It's just all, it's taking up space that I need for other video games that I'm going to waste time on. And you also don't need to wait for 10 minutes. So, what am I going to say? I'm going to tell you that playing video games is nice, but what's the problem? Just like any other hobby, this hobby is decided to be diluted. And when something is diluted, you lose quality. So when you had Marston lie to us, lie to everybody basically, and say that the game was ready, the game was absolutely not ready. And even the developers were thinking, haha, this is a joke. Well, everybody got fucked, even though the developers could have said something, but that's a rant for another day. It's an amalgamation of poor design choices and just too many people. I think that's what generally more passionate gamers forget. I'm not talking about people who harass developers. I'm talking about people like, let's see, you and I. We like quality. For example, if you take, I just had a wonderful talk about this with a really dear friend of mine. If you take the Astartes project, you see a fan-made animation that was made with love and care. Doesn't matter if it's for free or premium subscription, whatever. You can see that there are minute details in there that people care about. And that level of detail has been sort of lost on just, if you take a look at the general state of, let's say, AAA video and AA video games, for example, like Baldur's Gate and even Divinity Original Sin, there's a lot of care and a lot of effort and energy put into it, but at the same time, you have video games like, for example, Battlefield or Call of Duty that also have a similar level of, let's say, quality, because there is quality in there. You have to have a certain level of, let's say, control that enables you to publish and charge, let's say, an X amount of money for a product. It exists, even though we see the same iteration of the same video game over and over and over again. It still exists. The sound is crisp, the mechanics are there, even though the same thing repeats and it's technically dog shit in a way. It's still a level of quality that is consistent. For example, if you see the iteration of every single gun in Call of Duty, you'll see that the reload animations were good, that the sound was good, that the bullet casings being ejected were good. Little minute details. They can be seen, they can be noticed. It's the point that I'm trying to make is problem with Cyberpunk and problem with video games in general is that I wouldn't say that there are too many video games. It's that the level of expectation varies wildly. And the problem with that is that you have a huge audience that expects way too many different things, and conflict arises precisely because of that. And we always run into the issue of you need to balance the amount of money, the amount of effort you put into something, and the, let's say, amount of money that you're going to charge somebody for it. Because how can I tell you to justify spending 60 euros on a video game if you live in a poor country? For example, I don't know, Turkey was recently removed from the Steam lira section where you get really cheap games, so people complained because the lira is a fairly weak currency and people there don't really have a lot of money. So how can you justify paying 60 euros equivalent in Germany and 60 euros equivalent of lira in Turkey for the same product? I mean, you could, but it's a different expectation. And we are running into the problem of not only quality control, but again, it's just the general dilution of uh, it's the general dilution of everything. I mean, I know it sounds like a cop out in a certain way, but look, if you take a look at the footage in the background, it's it's hard to describe. I would say the disappointment. So let me go back. I believe Cyberpunk was supposed to be the new Witcher for everybody, even for me. I didn't pre-order the game because I have a policy, just like Total Biscuit said, of no pre-ordering. But you run into the issue of, hey, this looks really awesome. The idea is excellent. You have the original writer for Cyberpunk, who is there to advise the team, and you're thinking, okay, I can justify thinking about pre-ordering, but at the same time, it's tempering expectations is the smartest thing to do, precisely because your expectation is very different from my expectation. And I think that's the main problem with how the developers go into, I believe, even game development and just the general game design, because not every game developer is going to be passionate about it. Some are just going for cash, which is absolutely okay. Some people go for passion. Some people go for, I don't know, fame and fortune. Fucking Todd Howard, it just works. So, to keep this relatively short, I guess, not too demanding, and to try and fit in funny quips from Mr. John Wick. Jesus Christ, Keanu Reeves really did a number on the game. I don't know, just him as Johnny Silverhand was just ugh. Anyway, point being is that the games industry is very diluted, and there are way too many different expectations. And one of the reasons I believe Cyberpunk failed is because there's no coherency. No, I mean, not only Cyberpunk, a lot of games, AAA games especially, there's no coherency, and there's no unified idea of what you are supposed to get. I believe that video games should be passion projects first and foremost, but given the fact that they turned into a multi-billion-dollar business, we have been seeing for the past decade and a half just projects on top of projects, Bobby Kotick style. We're just churning up video games for profit, which is fine, but again, you have a subsection of passionate gamers which maybe look, I live in a poor country, and paying 60 euros is absolutely out of this world. Maximum I would pay would be 30 euros. But if, games like Baldur's Gate 3 were a bit more commonplace, maybe I would up it to 40. Again, it's passion that I would definitely support at full price, even though I live somewhere poorer. But not everybody's going to share my idea. But at the same time, you have a bunch of people, for example, living in France, Germany, America, in the West, basically, where 6 years is chump change. And for them, it's just, it's maybe 3-4 hours of work, 3-4 hours of pay. So it's not easy to quantify and ramble and say one side is wrong or one side is right. So yeah, just fucking hell. Why did I have to fuck it up? And why was I lazy? 4 years just to make this piece of shit. Anyway, might as well just publish this because 7 hours footage just being crammed, and not doing anything on the hard drive is a waste of everybody's time. Well, actually, just a waste of my time. And now it's a waste of your time. Congratulations! Wow! Alright, so this is probably going to be padded with random footage and maybe funny quips. The cringy storyline with the Beast, and really feels kind of shoehorned. Yeah, that segment really awkward. But anyway, look, play video games because you like them, and give constructive criticism where you can. If anything, we need more indie boys who are gonna give us passion projects and show us why we play video games, and more importantly, support developers that really care and listen to us people in general. So yeah, fun times, eh? Gotta make this just because, you know. Yeah. Anyway, don't subscribe, because if you do, that means I'll have to make more, and if YouTube starts giving me money, well, then everybody's gonna have a problem, especially you. So that's it. This is the whole review. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the 11.5 minutes, almost 4 years in the making. Holy shit. I'm done.
See this? This is a look of unfucking surprise on my face.
The clause. To them, power is a question of strength, ruthlessness. This is the only way.
Maiko.
Would you though? Could be fun.
Johnny.
Kidding. But watch out. Suit's getting ready to talk your head off.
Know what? That's enough. You just playing for time? Because I can't tell. Are you trying to convince me you're useless? I mean, in that case, I can just shoot you in the head and save us both some time.
Ah, finally.
Maybe next time I'll make something a bit more coherent and not have retarded 30 IQ. Maybe. Bye!
Son of a bitch!
Alright, I might have trashed Johnny Silverhand a bit too much. This part was really fucking good, so I'm just gonna leave the segment in. Sorry again. Just listen to it, trust me.
Some sleep. That was a damn long day. B, I'm glad you came. Really. Thanks. It meant a lot to me. Do you hear that?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. The wind has waned. I can't speak for Haboobs, but when a Chinook rolls rough and rowdy across the plain, I sure can't get any shut-eye. Not a wink.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.